special people change? How many lives are living strange? Where were you while we were getting high?
Walking past areas where the grass is 3 times taller than me has me thinking, when the smoke clears, where I want to be. Do I want to be like Steph, turned out or whatever, or Daryl and Cheryl making their life better? Wondering, is school a good place to be when I turn around and the kid is pressuring me to smoke this blunt, light up a joint? I guess by now you see my point. I'm trying to say my environment is me. Can I only be a product of what I see? Things that don't kill you can only make you stronger. I think not, because I feel like I live no longer. A mom at home constantly high on weed, or the billboard with Billy attracting me. The 50-cent juice next to the Heineken has me thinking in the back of my mind again. When the smoke clears, where I want to be. A statistic or a victim of peer pressure, or a product of success, something better than the life I see, the life around me. I now know where I want to be. Proud, smart, a beauty to see. I promise my environment won't influence me.
The environment can have a dramatic effect on a teen's decision to smoke or not smoke.
Hold up. My mom's in there. Oh, she about to go to work, though.
Hey, I know you don't smoke weed. I know this. But I'm gonna get you high today.
When this is what you see all of the time, it becomes normal. So many people in the community don't even think of weed as a drug. Or if they do, it's not a big deal. Not only that, the availability of illicit drugs in the city contributes to a rate of marijuana and alcohol use that is higher than other students in the state of Michigan. In African American communities like Detroit, there are more pro-tobacco advertisements than there are in white communities. And 1/3 of Detroit students have access to illicit drugs on school grounds.
Half them kids smoke weed up in there. I went to the bathroom, I said, let me hit that. I give you $2. Let me hit that.
I mean, it's normal. Everybody does it or everybody sell it.
But why does everyone do it? The answer is complicated. For a lot of teens, their decision to smoke or not is a reaction to their family life.
It made me feel like it was a temporary escape from day-to-day problems.
Is it any wonder that teens want to escape? In Detroit, 27% of families and about 31% of individuals live below the poverty line. Nationwide, the rates are about 10 and 13% respectively. There are other environmental factors that contribute to the makeup of Detroit. So far this year, the homicide rate is 20% higher than all of 2008. There have been 216 reported murders. That's more than New York, a city with 3 times as many people. There are chronic public health and public safety issues. Detroit is the only city that has had cigarette use above the national average of 25%. Detroit resides in the county that had the highest population loss in the nation in 2005-2006, besides the counties affected by Hurricane Katrina. However, not all teens who smoke because of their families are trying to escape. Some are just exposed to it and it becomes commonplace. Often, parents smoke around their children, which makes them believe that smoking is acceptable. Or, parents just don't take issue when they find out that their sons and daughters smoke. For those teens, it's not at all a surprise that they should start smoking.
I was born smoking weed, always around it. Bound to smoke it, I guess. I don't know. I tried. I said no a few times, but after a while, just goes away. But don't smoke weed, but it's good for me.
Oftentimes our kids are in households where the parents are smoking. So the parents need to be educated as well as the young person.
I started smoking at like 11. I don't smoke around my baby mama, she ain't into all that because, she just never grew up around it like I did.
To see just how powerful a family's influence can be, it's important to note the other side. About 2/3 of teens say that upsetting their parents and losing their respect is the main reason that they don't smoke.
Well, I believe it depends on the person, because me and my siblings, we grew up seeing our mom and our dad fight over money and drugs and all that other stuff, and see them using drugs. And still, some of my siblings still decided to use the same drugs and go through the same problems. So even though you see it and you see the negative aspect, I think it takes the person to know that they don't want that out of life. Because if you don't have any other goals or morals or anything else, it's hard. It's hard for you to not do that.
It's not just the lack of a moral compass that leads teens to smoking. 54% of families don't have after-school programs and wish they did. And about 15% have children who are left to their own devices 1 to 5 days per week. Even so, because of the crime rate, some parents don't feel comfortable letting their children go to after-school programs by themselves. In January 2007, Detroit Public Schools announced that over the next 2 years, they would close 51 schools. The plan was supposed to help aid with the district's financial woes, which 2 years later, it still faces. Instead, it caused overcrowding of the open schools. For many of the affected students, weed becomes an after-school alternative.
Open the schools back up that they close and fix the recreation center so the kids have something to do.
Finally, the pressure to smoke that comes from both the media and peers can be enormous.
Can't believe you're going to ditch me for the Joy Luck Club, dude. You know what their parties are like.
Come on, man. What do you want me to say? I was under pressure.
Just say no. That's all it takes. Here.
All right.
Take it.
Hey, what's going on up there? Damn. All you do is smoke weed.
That's all right. You guys know about the anti-drug commercials, the Live Above the Influence, the Partnership for a Drug-Free America. When you sitting at home and you're watching these commercials come on, what comes in your mind when you see them? Do you think that they're corny? Do you think that they're effective? Do they change your mind about using drugs? Do you share the visuals that you see with your peers or your friends, or do you ever have a discussion with the person that's sitting there next to you and say, hey, that was a pretty cool commercial. Like, wow, did you see how they show how crystal meth or how cocaine makes you react or respond?
Personally, I think the commercials are pretty much corny because not saying that it's not sending a good message, but I think the most influence that's around teenagers or whatnot or young kids is the rappers. So I figure if the rappers give off more positive information, if they telling kids not to smoke weed, like to go to school, encourage more of that, I think that would play a bigger influence than a commercial would.
What's your favorite rapper?
Lil Wayne.
What kind of things was he talking about in his lyrics?
He talked about money, clothes, cars, girls, and weed.
Even with the constant bombardment of images and messages, some teens still don't believe that the media has any effect on them.
They really had no type of influence with me starting to smoke.
However, teens see more than 20,000 30-second commercials every year. The average person sees 2 million by the time they are 65. Scattered throughout the city are a number of Colt 45 billboards. It's ludicrous to think that companies would spend so much money on advertising if it didn't work.
I don't like the Colt 45 billboards and everything like that, but I think they do target us and market to us because I have a family member that drinks a lot, and I went in the store and I saw how much it costs. It's like $2, and it's a 64-ounce of beer. So why wouldn't you buy that compared to some juice, something that's costing $4 for the same thing?
It's inevitable that after so many images, some of it should sink in. Because of that, some teams want to see more positive images coming from the media.
Because lots of youth look up to the celebrities, and I think that if celebrities added, because they already do ads like for breast cancer and things like that, so they could add on doing things for anti-drug commercials, which would really help, because then people would know more about it and people could care and think about it more than they already do.
Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, Gucci Mane, Plies, if they started rapping positive, would you still support them? Would you listen to it?
Yeah, honestly,
does it depend on the lyrics or does it depend on the beat?
For me, like honestly, my favorite rapper and my role model is Jay-Z. Whatever he rap about, I'ma listen to because he already got my ear tuned in already. Since you know what I'm saying, once you're a fan of somebody, you can care less what he talking about. You gon', you know what I'm saying, whenever he drops something new, you gonna listen to it and it's either you gonna like it or not. I'm quite sure if he drops something positive, I'm still gonna like it. If he say something negative, 9 out of 10, I might still like it. It depends on the delivery. So
even with so many factors stacked up against teens, some refuse to give up.
It is something we all can do, but in order to do that, we have to stand together as a whole, united. And I think our race is probably like the only race that don't do that.
Marijuana should not be smoking by youth. When you get grown, you still should smoke marijuana, but if you happen to smoke marijuana, don't smoke it around your kids, your nephews, your nieces, your fake cousins, your fake auntie or something, you know. Don't do it. You just don't do it.